Hello, good evening and good welcome to Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern episode 133rd. I'm Jamie and this week I've got MPV Graham with me.
Good, hello.
Good, hello MPV Graham, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am, as ever, spiffing. I'm still emotionally distraught after when you watched Friday night.
Very emotional.
A little bit more emotional than we expected there. We've also got Millie Man Ian.
Hello everyone, how are you?
All good.
Thank you, Dan, for the top, by the way, if you're watching.
Ladies and Daniel, but we haven't got him. We've got Millie Man, not Millie Man Ian, sorry. Scottish Gruff, come on in. Come on in.
Hello.
Hello, right. I'm here. Someone want to take over the duties for a second while I try and fix my thing.
Unplug your mic and replug it back in. This is what happens when he spends too much time worrying about his Nintendo Minute that he's got to try and squeeze into the show at some point tonight. He's got to panic because he's got me and Ian he can contend with for Pokemon DLC.
I mean, it is a good DLC.
Yeah,
we won't go into it too early.
We'll give him like 10, 20 seconds in a minute for him to say something about Pikmin, no doubt. Fucking Pikmin. And feeling that he's cut back off again.
Pikmin.
Yeah. If he just plays the proper Pokemon version, then we'll allow him to talk a wee bit longer, but feeling that he's fucking...
Because that's a bit of creepy old man, that's why.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. Having all these little people just following him around and he's like rubbing his hands.
Some weeks I just come in here and I just think, why am I doing? Just getting abused left, right, and centre.
You don't sound like you're underwater anymore, so
anyway,
great. And you're not Dan, so we have to find someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Technical issues aside, welcome to Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern episode 133rd, like I said, which we record each and every Sunday 8 p.m.
Yes.
Over on YouTube.com/Xbox Tavern Official. We got plenty of Xbox news this week. I don't know if you lot have seen. There was a few interesting tidbits this week, perhaps. Which we'll get to later on. Obviously, we've got the games we've been playing, including Project Game Pass's game for September, which is indeed Starfield. But do we want to kick things off with Guess the Game again this week?
If your computer will allow it, Jay, why not?
I was going to say, I'll try it, but you guys, one of you might need to do it. So let me bam for time while I bring it back up after I close everything down.
Oh, you just leave it minimized, Jay. Come on, this is a rookie mistake out here.
I had to shut everything down because it was shit in the bed, wasn't it? Right, anyway, here we go. Sharing the screen. So Guess the Game, if you're not familiar with Guess the Game, it's basically like Wordle for cool kids who play video games. And you get 6 images to guess the video game name. We've been doing it on the stream for the past couple of weeks as a team. It's been quite enjoyable. So let's give it a crack, shall we? We'll give it 30 seconds or so, like usual, and then we'll skip on to the next.
Ian's just cheating on his phone and looking at the answer.
He is cheating. He's already done. He's googling the answer already. So this is the first image here. First image doesn't give you much other than the image, but later clues give you hints as to platform and release year and Metacritic score and stuff. I've got a game in mind, but I want to see what you guys sort of come up with before
I have you a game and name in one picture.
Yeah, I'm
Sonic Vibes or Monster Hunter.
Sonic Frontier.
Monster Hunter was a good shout. The big like cliff things in the background.
Yeah, I was thinking sort of Monster Hunter. But then I'm also thinking.
Thinking something along the lines, perhaps one of the God of War reboots, perhaps.
No,
PS4 ones.
No,
sort of giving me that vibe, but I think Monster Hunter is probably a better shout. Should we put something in?
Yeah, go Monster Hunter. There's about 300 of them, so.
Is it Rise?
What do you reckon? Monster Hunter World?
I was going to say Sonic Frontier early, but I don't think it's that.
It looks too nice to be fucking Sonic, I think. So Monster Hunter World, let's go with that. That's a more modern one. Yeah? Everyone happy?
Let's go with it.
No.
No.
Second
picture doesn't do much.
That's
anything.
What was that, Grace?
Is that Biomutant? It looks like a little furry head.
Could very well be. I mean, again, going back to image 1.
Horizon?
Yeah, I could see some Biomutant there. There could be some Horizon as well.
It's a good shout. But do we have Biomutant
87%, though? Which one of them would have 87%?
Horizon was fairly highly rated, was it not?
I feel like it might be a bit higher than 87.
90.
Yeah. Let's give Biomutant. I'm feeling strong about Biomutant. Let's give that a try, shall we?
And our survey says,
not quite. All right, so we've got platform Ds as well: PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, and PC.
So it was everywhere.
Basically, so we've got. I can't even really. It's got like a cell shadedness to it, or not cell shade, almost like a painter. I can't quite tell.
I'm stuck. I have no idea.
If you're listening on audio only, I'm terribly sorry you can't see the images. Go over to youtube.com/Tavern you can play along with us, or indeed join our Discord, link below, where we play each and every day. And some days are better than others.
What song goes is it? The Reckoning?
Kingdoms of Amalur, that one.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad show actually. That's we could try that because it was remade or remastered when it, but I don't know whether they count that or not for the 360 version. Let's go with that. No, hang on.
What the fuck?
that was a complete left turn. So it's a JRPG.
Oh, it's a JRPG, right?
JRPG.
So
Dragon Quest? I don't know.
Dragon Quest
JRPG.
A bad shout, but
like Dragon Quest are quite common with their slimes. That doesn't look very slime-oriented.
Slimy, no.
PDs, that got owls with mustaches on it.
Well, fucking all of them.
Yeah, I was like,
it's always got some sort of funky word in them.
I mean, this is way out of my wheelhouse now. I was going to say it couldn't be like a modern Final Fantasy 14.
No, it would never be Final Fantasy.
I would say something like Tales of Vesperia, but I haven't got that far into know if it's got fucking owls with mustaches in.
Isn't there Tales of Arise as well? Isn't that one of them?
No, that's the one that I've played. That's
a Nintendo one, though, isn't it?
Tales of Arise is the one.
No, it's the one I did. But I don't remember mustachioed owls. But like I said, I haven't completed it, so it could well be.
What do we want to do? Do we want to skip or do we want to take a guess at something?
What's the one? Tales of Reckoning, you said, wasn't it? Or word?
No, Tales of Vesperia is one I said. But I mean, it wasn't very set in rural areas. As I said, that looks like
that one.
Yeah,
that one.
Try. Let's give it a try. Tales of.
It's a guess, but I mean, I don't think it's that one just because they were more set in like cities and stuff.
Okay, 2 years old. 2 years old. This, I mean, again, way up. I've got no chance here, but this looks more.
I have no idea. I can't.
It wouldn't be something like a Black Desert, would it? We've already had Black Desert. Ian, you should know this. You're a Black Desert.
Out of context, that looks a bit wrong.
Yeah, I promise that's a callback. I'm not just being racist.
Let's do it then.
They wouldn't call that a JRPG, would they? Is that not?
I suppose that would be more of an MMO, but
that's what I was thinking.
The only thought, unless you've got anything else you think of.
It's got very number 5 pictures. Very, I know it's not, but it's like your Final Fantasy type of deal. You've got a wee squad running around with you.
That picture, I can tell you 100% it's not a Final Fantasy.
No, I know it's not. I know it's not Final Fantasy, but it's that sort of. I don't know. It's not my style of game.
Like Valkyria Chronicles or something like that. Have you ever played any of them? I've played one, but it certainly wasn't this one.
No.
Was that recent?
I don't know. I thought
the
it was
screen's very small. That could be Tales of Arise, That guy looks about. It's so small. I can't make out what he looks like. Because the main guy had kind of white hair and an eye patch, but
can't make it much clearer than that with Jay's potato screen share.
Well, let's do Tales of Arise then. We'll try that.
Yeah, should we give it a try? Grand success.
Like I said, I haven't got that far to know if there's a bloody owl with a moustache in it yet.
God damn it!
6. There's the GIF playing for you if you can see that. I mean,
I would have recognised it from the combat if I could see it in a thing that's smaller than your schlong.
Absolutely.
Well, we got it at least.
Yeah,
clutched it there with the Tails.
Well done, everybody.
You saying the Tails? I was the only one who knew was a Wise. I couldn't think of the other one.
Yeah, I'll be sad.
Can't say I've ever heard of the games.
Yeah.
Tales of Arise
is
amazing.
Never, obviously, again, way out my wheelhouse there, but yeah, well done, Grayman. Well done, Ian. It was a bit of a team effort on yours parts there.
Me and G were just here for the
game because Gray mentioned the other one.
Yeah.
So
nice job.
We both got it. We'll say team effort.
Well,
good job.
That's me. Except for me, because that was the one I reviewed. But
it's the only one I knew when you mentioned it, so I was like, Maybe that's 2021 though. That's very recent. I swear it was older than that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Tale series is going for a long time in it, but I guess
maybe so.
Yeah, we're getting new entries and stuff, but. Yeah, so nicely done. So yeah, like I said, you can join us on the Discord where we post our results every day, most of the time. Normally mine are about 2 a.m. when I'm waking up like an old man in the middle of the night for piss. And you can come and see how you get on, compare your stats and scores with everybody. That'd be
I just
wonderful.
forget to do it and then do it once a week with you.
Once you're on here, we're talking. He goes, "Oh, was it that game?
At least we're doing it together now, so I just get angry at myself.
Yeah, we can do the Sunday one together. That's the joy of that game. Right. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's get into show proper then, shall we? Because we need to talk about a Project Game Pass game, which is, as I said earlier on, Starfield. So Project Game Pass, we pick a game from Game Pass each and every month. We play it, we discuss it, and then we give it sort of an overall podcast rating and stuff like that. And there's also an official review up on the site by Graham right now. You can go check that out on xboxtavern.com.
Was that the one that Graham did, or the Xbot that we got to type it up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that we were trying to buff up the Metacritic with. I told him to put quite a high score in it because otherwise, how are they going to get over their 90 average? So.
Oh, did you also get all the money that came through from Bethesda as well?
Yeah, they said my check's in the post. Graham should have got his by now, I think.
Yeah, and is the Xbox One coming separate, or are they just bundling them in together?
I think that they're going to save it to the end of the year.
They keep it right. Okay.
Same time. Yeah.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, fucking sad motherfuckers. Anyway, obviously, quick clarity. We don't get paid for any of this shit, but it would be nice if someone, professionally pay us to give us an honest opinion rather than bribing us. Because I mean, Graham, how dare you be bribed? And so Ross, bribed with a 7.1 for a Madden or whatever it was. Well worth EA's bucks that is. Anyway, we're getting way off topic here. Let's talk about Starfield. I'm going to go first. I haven't played it again this week, so who else wants to talk about Starfield?
Well, I can say it's probably the most consistent Project Game Pass.
You're turning into Ian.
I know.
You can't play it next year and then class it as fucking played.
I mean,
exactly.
To be honest, before you guys get into it, I'm not even sure I'm going to get back to it. To be quite honest with you. It was doing all right for a while, but then I started playing some other stuff, and I've just lost all interest in going back to it. I will go back to it. I will, but every time I sit down to play the last week, I've had 3 or 4 other things I would rather play than go play that.
See, I'm the opposite. I see other games. That's it. I see other games. I can't bother play this. I want to play Starfield. Like even Pokemon DLC, which we'll go into later, it's struggling me playing it because Starfield's calling. I'm on like 4 days, 10 hours.
I still haven't. Just in regards to the Pokemon DLC, I've still not reached the first area. That's how little I've put in it based on fucking Starfield.
But how far are you in Starfield, sir?
I'm on. Well, I'm sort of cheesing the new game section because I want to get to a certain new game level and then play it again. So,
what do you mean? What the new game plus? You mean?
Yes. So the new game plus is quite a nice little break away from the norm and what you would expect from a new game plus. It's not just jumping into the same game as what you've just played. So it's refreshing to have something a wee bit innovative. Sorry.
Yeah. And how sort of far were you when you actually rolled the credits on your first playthrough?
Hour-wise?
Hour-wise, or in terms of.
I think I was probably similar to Ian. Done like Ian saying he's done like all the main faction, or he's doing the main faction side quests. I don't know if you said you had finished the 3-star one.
No, I've got literally the 3-star left.
So I've done the Crimson. I've done one of the big businesses. Try and keep it less spoilerish, and I've done the UC one as well. So similar sort of time put in it as Ian.
Fair enough. And Graham, how far are you now? Where are you up to?
So I've done a lot of the main bit is sort of coming towards a kind of close, but I've also done most of the factions. I just haven't done the Ryujin one. That's my remaining faction quest to do. And
the best one because it's
the one that's stealth based.
You can see why I left that one to last day.
You do get a really cool stealth suit,
which I'm sure I won't use.
Even I don't use it.
Yeah, but you could stealth into the middle of enemies and then take it off and be like, "Ha! Surprise, motherfuckers!" Just lay them to waste. Yeah?
Surprise, motherfuckers!
Some fries, motherfucker.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
Or rise, motherfucker.
Supplies, motherfucker.
I'm too powerful.
Who dies, motherfucker?
To be dealing with stealth.
Fair enough. But you're cracking on. Have you made much progress in the story?
Yeah, massive. Like I said, sort of in the last kind of section of it now, of that bit before I hit where Ross is at the new plus bit. But I'll have to finish off that faction bit before I get to that bit. Unfortunately, it involves stealth, but I'll try to be as less stealthy as I can be.
In fairness, you don't have to if you've got good enough talking ability.
Oh yeah, my persuasion thing's off the charts.
Well, there you go then. You should be alright. You can sort of just work your way through it that way then.
It was fun because I think one mission where I was like, I was not doing stealth. I got caught. I was like, fuck this. So I started killing everyone. And she goes, "You killed me, everyone." And pretty much there's an option that says, "Got the fucking job done. What do you want to do about it?" But it wasn't no swearing because I got the job done. I was like, "Oh, okay.
Stop your fucking moaning." Honestly.
Fuck you, bitch.
You wanted the job done, it's done. What the fuck's the point?
Very nice. Very nice. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm completely out of the loop in terms of knowing the best things to ask. Did anyone want to talk about New Game Plus, or do you not want to spoil it yet? I don't, because actually I don't care. It makes no, but I don't want to ruin it for anyone else.
I mean, I don't want any spoilers.
Yeah, I won't.
We'll avoid that for now then. But obviously, you're all still enjoying it by the sounds of it. You're in New Game Plus. You're working your way through. You two work your way through your story.
Close to it, yeah.
Have you found any more sort of, again, without spoiling too much, any sort of side missions or things like that you think like an essential player for someone who's working their way through the story or through the game right now?
Ryujin, if you like talking.
Yeah.
You singing to me there, Ian, but that requires playing the game.
For anybody who's sort of
3 stars, waste of space because the ship is shit.
Have you all spent much
Every
time?
C-class ship is better. So just level up to C-class, and any ship you buy is better.
Speak to once you've done a certain mission for one of the members of Constellation. Speak to him again to pick up another one called Overdesigned. That ship is worth it.
Okay. And
it's a C grade.
Yeah.
And so
my narwhal's
have
great. So my narwhal is great now because I had to change it because the way you dock, where you come into the ship, was at the back of it. It was fucking annoying. I had to keep running around
right in the front
ship and go into the back. So now I've switched this in the front. I'm like, yep, just walk straight in.
Backwards.
So a little bit of tweaking and add a bit more storage. I can't turn quick, but I don't really need to turn quick because my ship just literally it's like a meat shield, and obviously it's auto fire as well, so I can just literally stand there.
Still never used the auto cannons yet. I need to fire them on one of my ships.
Yeah, auto cannons are great because all you need to do really is focus on missiles and stuff.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And have you found you sort of spending a lot of time on one planet doing stuff like I like to do on Mars? Or have you just been hopping around everywhere trying to find it every fucking place?
I hop around.
Yeah, hop around. I spend actually more time in space because I want to get the interactions either between other friendly vessels or just dogfights.
Have you had the one with the joke yet? The one where she starts telling the joke and then doesn't get to the punchline because she jumps away.
Don't think so, no.
Oh, that's a brilliant one. I think I was mentioned a couple of weeks ago.
I got into the one with the sea shanty.
I haven't done that one.
Just randomly grav jumping out, and there's a guy just singing a sea shanty, just floating in space.
Isn't that the guy who's become famous for doing them as well on TikTok?
Probably, yeah.
I don't know what his name is. I'm sure I read somewhere that it was him who wrote a few songs for it, or a few.
Did he? That's cool.
I've also came across Grandma.
Oh yeah, Grandma's cool. Yep, getting good meals and stuff.
Yep, just a random spaceship, and it's like the name of the spaceship's Grandma.
And if you dock, she gives you home cooked meals.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Yeah,
that's what makes it. We random shit like that.
So
someone was showing me their latest music, or they're really good sort of orchestral player or something like that, and I said that it was rubbish, and then you just buggered off.
Outrageous.
So many
what were you going to say, Ross?
Encounters. Just the random encounters just really make it.
And see, that's what I like about the Bethesda games, like in Skyrim, where you're just ambling around and you just stumble across something. But the thing I'm struggling with Starfield when I've played it, granted I haven't played this week, but
because you can't talk to everyone,
is because you don't get the option. I mean, you can just wander around a planet, but you spend so much time like fast traveling to different planets and different places. You don't really get the option to just wander off and just find what you find. And that's what's not really hooking me in. Is I think I read, was it Eurogamer's review earlier this week, and that was one of their things. They said like the whole point of the whole magic of Skyrim was just pick a direction and go and see what you find. Whereas here you sort of pick a direction, you fast travel there, you're there, and then you pick a direction, you fast travel back the other way, and then you don't sort of explore that space in between, which is what's putting me off of playing it a little bit, because that's kind of I don't care about the main story in any of them. I just like just ambling around and seeing what I can find, and it's harder to do when you're fast traveling left, right, and center.
I do agree with that point where like some base areas are really good, like Neon City stuff, where it's just literally one hub where you go around and do stuff. But like when it tells you like, I'll go to this planet, go to this planet, you literally just fast travel. You don't bother running to your ship, going to your ship, doing that because it just takes too long. Yeah. And I agree with that point of view. Sometimes it can be quite taxing, especially when it's taking you left, right,
yeah,
center.
The biggest, I would say, like the biggest thing that they need to add in, and it will come because you can guarantee it, is they need to add like rovers or some sort of way of traversing planets a bit easier.
Space horses.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
Even if it's just like a wee speeder, just something that you can just jump on and away you go.
What's the hover bikes? Like, is it 2 wheels? So you just stand on it, hoverboard.
Yeah, fucking Segway going.
That'd be brilliant.
Low gravity Segway
or even just make your jetpack an actual jetpack, so you can just like Superman it forwards for a little bit.
Yeah, that'll be boost pack.
Oh, for a long period of time rather than and then you go.
I think I saw someone had like managed to figure out how to glitch it to basically do what you just said. Great, so it shoots you forward.
No, you jump it forward. That's only for the PC version. You remap the jump button, and you jump forwards and boost at the same time, so it boosts forwards. Yeah,
but that's that's what they need. It's a bit more fast, not fast travel, but a faster way to get around the areas that you can explore. I mean, so the idea of it still appeals to me. It's just I've been playing so many other things this week that have been way more just up my street. Just I'll get back to it before. Have we got another week of this before moving to October's one? We have, So I will play. I promise you, I will play some more this week.
So. Guarantee next Sunday you won't have played much more.
I probably won't play much more, but I will have played some.
He won't have played. I'm calling it now. He's not playing.
He's still on Mars.
He's still on Mars.
I know. I have left Mars. I'm in Neon City, I think, at the minute.
I loaded it up, did one mission, and
that probably will be about the extent of it.
Put a YouTube video on so I could at least see what was coming and then pretend that was what I done.
But Jay's Bethesda game scares the crap out of me. He just wants to walk aimlessly and talk to everyone.
Yeah.
No, not aimlessly. You just wander and see what you find. You
I just want to walk around. Yours is like an old granny simulator. I just want to walk and talk to people.
That's not what I said. But also, is that not how you played Skyrim, or did you fast travel everywhere in Skyrim as well?
Oh yeah, of course fast travel.
I didn't fast travel Skyrim for like the first 200 hours I played. I wandered everywhere.
Oh, you're a fucking maniac.
Between that Starfield and Red Dead Redemption, this is perfect.
Red Dead Redemption is the worst.
I didn't fast travel in that either.
There wasn't even fast travel.
You had to bloody crawl your ass over there, and then finally you could sort of. You have to do that shitty cinematic view. That's more your game. I'm pretty sure.
I literally spent more time on my phone than playing Red Dead Redemption because I was like auto running to the next fucking place. Just like 10-minute fucking horse ride. It's like auto run.
Yeah.
Phone.
But half the time there was something along the way that a random interaction or a mission you stumbled across.
Yeah, but it was all bullshit. It was like, oh, my horse has run off, or my grandma's fallen over. Fuck that. Let me get the mission.
True. Yeah, maybe. But again, that's why I enjoy in these sort of games, just exploring the world, not fast traveling to point A to point B to point C and then back again. It's doesn't really appeal to me as much as the other way.
Walking sim.
Did you complete Red Dead?
Yes, and it was very, very good. I very much enjoyed it.
Played the first 10 minutes, turned it off.
I think I burnt down a mansion, then I stopped playing.
Yeah, that was. I think I got in a barn. That was caught fire, and then after that, I was like, I'm done.
That's tremendous. Absolutely excellent game. Yeah. Really, really good. But we're not talking about Red Dead right now because otherwise we'll get into it. We're talking about Starfield. Has anybody got anything else they want to talk about Starfield that they're particularly enjoying, or maybe that they're not enjoying, or anything in between before we move on?
If I'm trying to be, I would hate to be accused of like being bought and paid for. If I'm trying to be objective, I can understand, as you're saying, some of the frustrations that people are having in it. But some of the stuff that's getting put out in regards to it being bad for what they're saying about it is just so unfounded. It's unbelievable.
Such as expound, sir, expound.
Just like the vast emptiness. There's not empty. You have to tolerate with the fast travel, right? And in regards to the scale of it, because if you think of the star systems, right, and as I say, 1,000 planets, and however many different ones have got stuff on it is a different story and stuff like that. But what other game that's out just now has got that sort of scale, like Star Citizen type ideas or EVE Online or one of these big games that are built on numerous big servers that are fucking been constantly growing for like the last 15 years or stuff like that. And you're thinking a single player console game, there's nothing that matches it in regards to scale that I've played. Maybe the one that I'm currently playing maybe matches it, but it's huge. So you are going to have emptiness because of this sheer scale here. Every single planet and star system in the whole fucking current universe of real life isn't habitable, isn't invested with 30 different cities that you can go and walk around. So surely, God, that just means it's accurate to what we know of the real world. Well, see, that is a bad thing.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, there is, I think, some stake in the argument that if you're going to have 1,000 planets, but 990 of them are going to be empty, what's the point in having them? You might as well just concentrate on the 10 you've got and have them like more densely packed. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's what I would prefer necessarily. I'd prefer just one, to be quite honest with you. just one planet. Fuck the rest of them off.
He was planet
I
Earth.
just want a single planet. But yeah, I sort of see a bit of both sides. But yeah, there's a lot of people needlessly shitting on it for, like you said, they're picking fault and stuff. They're just trying to find an excuse to shit on it, basically. And that's not what I'm doing. Like I said, it's just not for me. I don't think it's just not my street really. But it's not a bad game by any means, and it's certainly not a badly made game in terms of the way they've done it. There's things they need to improve, like the maps and the menus and stuff, but it's not broken. Whereas some people are really, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. I can't believe you can't explore, more than around this area, or you can't. Shut up,
visited numerous planets, visited numerous star systems, still haven't hit a boundary of a planet yet.
Exactly, and like you said, you can go to these planets and resource mine or set up bases or whatever. But then you got the space flight stuff as well as the actual cities that they have built and 10 tons of things in between. So yeah, I'd say it's not a bad game. It just hasn't really floated my boat so far. But I don't want to bring the energy down too much. Anybody else got anything that they want to sort of swing on the upturn with? Anything they want to shout out that they're particularly enjoying, or anything else regarding Starfield?
I think we've covered quite a lot. Otherwise, every podcast is going to be like this for a bit.
Yeah, it will be until we move on. Probably until the end of the year, to be honest. The amount of you are going to keep playing Starfield, I imagine. But yeah, no. So far, all thumbs up for you three. I will play some more this week and
no, you won't.
See how we get on with that. But yeah, that's our Project Game Pass section. You can go and look at xboxtavern.com to see the other Project Game Pass games we picked. Some of which were good, some of which were not so good, and some of which played themselves, like Forza, for example. Anyway, let's move on, shall we, gentlemen?
Forza was funny, though.
Forza was funny, yeah. Well, let's move on to other stuff we've been playing this week, and I feel like we need to get it out of the way. Let's talk about a bit of EA FC 24. Before you two start, Ian, have you played any yet?
God, fuck no.
Okay, cool. So now you get to be the odd one out because even I've played some, motherfucker.
No.
Fuck off, have you? What?
Regale us.
Oh, Jay, you let me down, Jay. I'm disgusted.
Every year I always like to just give it a go on my own, just to see what it's like. I don't know why, because obviously I don't like football games. Downloaded it. I loaded it up. I played as Wrexham because I've been watching the Disney program about the Brian Reynolds and what's his name, Rob McElhenney, but like buying it and trying to turn it around. I smashed whatever team it was. I don't remember, like 6-0 or 7-0 because it was on whatever the easiest difficulty is, beginner or amateur or whatever. And then I turned it off, and that was that. So, I mean, it looked very nice. It played all right. It played like FIFA. But you two will no doubt have a far more nuanced take. So please, either one of you go for it or both of you go for
it. Initial thoughts are it feels a bit slower at the moment, but that's quite consistent with most new FIFA stroke EA FC games start out. Just a bit of it just feels like a bit walking through treacle, but I mean, it's part of it's because you've been so sport with the last one where you're playing with like super juiced players. Everyone moves quickly. You have to readjust playing with the slower players again. But it seems to have ramped up a lot in body animations rather than being so animatronic the way they kind of move now. Then there's sort of dribbling animations and movement animation seems to have been a bit more considered and looks a bit more realistic. But other than that, it's very subtle, the kind of changes on there. I mean, they've boosted up crosses again, which has happened once before, and then people started abusing it a lot, and then they dial it back. But at the moment, the biggest kind of annoyance for me is just the menu thing. They tried to sort of simplify it, but it's just a little bit annoying and hard to get used to at the moment. But I'm sure that will change eventually. But I'm not a fan of the new UI.
See, now I'm the opposite. I think the way that they've done it is like brilliant. How you've got the option to, instead of going all the way right through the menus, you can hold like LB and it's a scroll, right. Like a scroll wheel. You just drop down. I'm thinking on Ultimate Team, you click the objectives and then boom, you're straight in there, and you hold it again, jump to transfers. Instead of having to cycle through the different sections or click into like play, and then it brings you up like Ultimate Team, then it brings you up like squad battles, division rivals, FUT champs. You can literally just find the section that you need to go to and boom, takes you straight there.
A little bit. I mean, I think it's more the objective things that annoys me they've done, because they've done it a way so you can collect all of them, but it doesn't tell you where it is.
No, I've noticed that as well, yes.
Objective you completed, but you just won't tell you exactly where it is.
Yeah. So you still have to go through all the objectives so you can just click all.
Yeah. So I understand they tried to make it easier, but they still fluffed it a little bit there.
A little bit, yeah.
And what about the actual on-pitch stuff then? So you said it feels a bit slower, but in terms of like the special move, not finesse moves, is it called? Is that right? All that sort of stuff there and as accounted for in FIFA, or has any of that sort of stuff changed?
Yeah, they just added a load of different sort of animations and sort of skill-based moves for the tricksters. I mean, I've seen clips of it already about how you can do some like cheeky flicks of Neymar, sort of bouncing people balls over their heads, or clever juggling and those kind of things. People go mad for tricks like that, but you can rarely ever pull that kind of stuff off mid-game. But it's just like the dribbling animations and the way sort of you kind of, it's no longer if you're past the ball and you got your back to a defender, you're not going to lose it every time. Sometimes you can kind of do an animation which sees you turn past them, sort of gets past the kind of defender. But I've seen a lot of complaints about defending being a lot harder in this one, and I think they've got different type of defending involved. I can't remember it.
They have, yeah. So they've got Legacy, Tactical, and then I forgot what this newest one is. But what I found is if you just change it back to the standard Tactical, defending feels very much the same.
Yeah. I just want to know why would they put that in? You know, what's so good about the new one? Because usually it's slightly beneficial.
What they're saying is it's one of these. It's sort of skill based type idea. Once you get to like the top level of the game, or like once you've like really experienced it and things like that, it makes it a more effective style of defending. Like you can win a lot more tackles. It allows you to play a more accurate defensive game type idea, but it's difficult to learn how to do it. So it's like repetition, as you've just got to learn how it works, and once you master it, it's like time shooting. Not everybody uses time shooting, but if you can master how to use it, it's infinitely better. Similar idea with how they've introduced this into the defending side. It'll be exactly the same as when they first introduced tactical defending over Legacy, where you could just hold the button and it would chase the person down.
Yeah,
like that's how I played FIFA when I was like younger, and then they introduced tactical, and I fucking ignored it. And then it became mandatory for when you wanted to play competitive, so you had to learn the tactical side of it. And to begin with, I was shit at it. I'm still not great, but I was like 6 yards away if you're actually getting close to anybody tackling.
Yeah.
This is going to be the same stuff with this new one as well. Once you've learned how to use it, everybody will use it going forward.
We'll see.
Fair enough. So obviously, did you pick it up, Ross, like the early access one, or are you just playing the trial like I was?
Nope, I got the Super Big Daddy Deluxe edition.
Very nice. Yeah, so it's out now in early access, which was was it Friday it come out?
Friday, yeah.
A couple of days ago, and then obviously it's out for general release next Friday. I might, to be honest, I'll probably end up playing more of this than Starfield. Ian's a good thing he's muted. I saw a few expletives coming out of his mouth there.
Fuck off, Jay.
No,
not be.
I was going to have one more game before we started it today, but I've run out of time by the time I sorted everything out. So I didn't get a chance.
Stepping away from the main Ultimate Team section, we did jump onto a bit of Pro Clubs last night, which was rather enjoyable. So there was myself, Gray, Dan, and one of our listeners, my good friend, also known as Graham. It went really well. It does tend to help that when players are trying to play the game, if everybody makes sure that they download the proper version and not the last generation's version, and then bitch and moan that they can't join the Pro Club. So no, it wasn't Dan. No, it wasn't Dan. It wasn't me, and it wasn't Gray. Put it like that. Had a very irate Scottish. A very irate Scottishman adamant that I was being stupid and couldn't add him into the squad until we realised that we all had the Xbox Series X version and he had downloaded the Xbox One version.
Nice.
So that was.
Have they still got that shitty Volta?
Yes. Oh. They spam 100 menus at you before you can actually get any Pro Clubs.
Oh, fuck that. That was such a shit thing to do. Why do they keep doing it?
But Pro Clubs is good
in it, but they just wish they wouldn't put it in everyone's face. Yeah. Just let the people who enjoy it. Stop making everyone else get involved in it.
I don't think anyone does, do they?
Well, for it to still be there, it must have some sort of attachment to it or an audience.
And the risk of sounding stupid, what are you talking about?
Bring back Alex Hunter.
It's like a freestyle kind of game. It's like a 3-on-3 with just people doing skills.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's Street Power Soccer, but worse.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Hey, Street Power Soccer's fucking banging.
Jesus.
Oh, dear. We need to...
If there's ever Project Games of Gold.
That was...
Street Power Soccer's going number one.
Nice. Well, anything else on EAFC 24? I nearly called it FIFA, but I avoided it.
Good man. Like I say, Pro Clubs has improved. I like the new layout of the Pro Clubs. I like the different. I like the way that they've changed the league format.
Change the league format?
Yeah, so now you can't get relegated. So it's like, correct me, division rivals.
Fuck off. That's bullshit.
So you can't get relegated. You just stay in the current division until you get promoted eventually. But your AI improves as you move through the leagues, which was a much needed improvement. Nothing worse than getting to like division 4, 5, 6, whatever it may be, and you've still got like the original AI who are fucking reprobates. So it's quite nice that they're sort of working on that.
Yeah. We definitely need to start trying to play as an any on that bit, just because the way the computer behaves defensively is terrifying.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's like letting you loose defending, Jay. They just...
I mean, I will say I didn't get a single red card when I played, so they
disappointed.
They must have me up.
They're not even playing a game.
I don't worry, Jay. They weren't getting red carded. They would just get nowhere near the attackers.
Yeah, they couldn't get red carded because they were 10 yards away.
Well, yeah, that sounds about right. I in solidarity, I feel their pain. Yeah, all right. Should we move on from a bit of a? Oh fucking hell! I did it again. EAFC 2024. Let's Ian, do you want to have your Nintendo minute?
It's with Ross, so I need 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck off. This means I get 2 minutes as well because I'm doing it with Graham, even though he hasn't played it.
Yeah. Okay. This means I need a 5-minute break.
All right, go for it then. I haven't got my timer on me, so I'll just wing it. Go.
So yeah, I've been playing the new DLC, and actually, I'm probably about halfway through it, and I'm enjoying the whole catching them all, but all the new ones because I've already got all the old ones already. So I think when I did my Pokedex, it was like 130 already. So I was like, oh, I've got most of these already. So got my base Snorlax as my main guy. I like to take too many with me. To DLC, like kind of do like an Ash Ketchum where I kind of reset. So I take only one Pokemon with me. I took 2 this time because I kind of took my oh my god, my mind's gone blank. What Pokemon's called? The King Gambit, King something. Yeah, I took him with me because he's my force swipe guy.
It's always handy to have a full swiper.
So he's my force swiper and Snorlax my main kind of character. So yeah, I've been going around collecting most of them. I like doing the kind of raid battles as well because obviously I'll go online and do them and try my luck because they're kind of a bit more fun. The Mewtwo one I gave up on. You had to kind of find someone to do it.
You had to be working in tandem with somebody on that one.
Yeah, so I kind of gave up on the Mewtwo one quite quickly when I realised I had no hope. But yeah, so far, it's not too bad. It's quite a slow pace because I'm taking my time with it, kind of going around. Obviously, Starfield keeps getting in the way. But so I think I'll probably get it finished this week because I think I'm pretty much near the end. I did one of the side quests where I had to go see Earth Luna. So I've done that side quest. So I think I'm pretty much getting towards the end. It feels like I'm getting towards the end.
Was that the Blood Moon one I told you about?
Yeah, the Blood Moon one, where you speak to the girl with the camera. Who's a bit like
have you went back and spoke to her after you complete the quest?
She gave me the Growlithe one. Yeah, I got the Growlithe. So yeah, so far, I can't say I can't fault it. I can fault it because it should be longer. But I feel this one's more down to the catching, whereas I think the next one's more down to do with battling. That's where I kind of enjoy more. So I think the next DLC is kind of a new format where they kind of do a bit more battles than actually storylines. So
I think start springtime next year.
Winter this year.
You think it'll be the end of this year?
Winter, yes. Already confirmed winter.
When? Well, happy days.
Yeah. Happy days. Well, that was definitely the longest 2 minutes of my life. Graham, I'll be.
I'm not awake anymore.
JK. All right, I'll do my Nintendo minute very quick. And then we'll go from there. So I started playing Pikmin 1.
Oh, fuck.
That's very exciting.
I was joking when I said
very exciting. Very exciting. It's finally come through. I got the physical version. Turned up Friday. So I started playing it this afternoon. And it's quite hard going back after playing Pikmin 4 and having like the quality of life stuff, the improved controls and the options for like calling your Pikmin back and stuff like that. But I'm in day 4 now because the first game is set over 30 days. So I've already hit day 4. Got enough ship parts to keep me going. Really enjoying it. I'm going to keep playing it. Keep doing that. I'll probably take it to work and play it on my lunch breaks. And yeah, I'm having a great time. Pikmin 1. Awesome. Good game. Right.
Is it awesome though?
It is awesome. Like I said,
So what is better? Although Pikmin, I don't know why I'm asking these questions. What am I doing
ask me. Ask any questions you like, sir.
So what is your favourite Pikmin?
What's my favourite Pikmin? What, in terms of the individual Pikmin or the games?
We'll go for both.
The individual one's yellow because
Ian, what the fuck?
High, they battle electricity and they're just awesome. And the games, probably Pikmin 4 would be my favourite one at this point because again, like
the recent one.
Like the quality of life stuff and the improved controls and sort of flow of the gameplay's just been sort of mastered over the last 20 years, I think, since the first one come out. So yeah. The only thing I'm not.
What about Resident Evil?
Well, we can get into Resident Evil set. No, I'll save you. I haven't played in Resident Evil for a little while, so I'll save you all for that for now. Although separate ways had come out on Friday, which I'm going to have to pick up very soon. The DLC for Resident Evil 4. I'll probably play that this week as well instead of Starfield.
Don't do it.
Cool. Right. Let me have a little perusal of the list here. Graham.
Yes.
Do you want to tell me about this little game that I'm fucking shit at it, but Bomberman, what's Superman Bomberman R2?
It is, nice little follow-on from the first one, R2, so it's carried on the same sort of vibe as the first Bomberman. So it's like White Bomberman is like the older brother of all the other Bombermen. There's like 7 others, each of the different colour with their own personalities, and it looks like they are obviously another threat to the world, etc. And they're on this kind of planet that they're trying to sort of work out how to sort of help. And they've got little creatures called Elons or Elons, but I think it's supposed to be a little piss take like Elon Musk, but little Elons. That's what I call them anyway. And they sort of like you have to collect them all and use them to power things. And yeah, it's an interesting little story. But aside from that, it's your typical kind of Bomberman trying to sort of tackle enemies, blowing up bricks and everything. And yeah, like a bike, just break back on, sort of smashing it straight through. Doing quite well on that first kind of area already. I haven't done any kind of battle mode. They've done any sort of each battle mode has been a cakewalk, but they've added in this weird fortress defense mode, which I'm still on the fence about at the moment because I'm not too fan of sort of defense or fortress defense kind of games anyway. But you kind of have to sort of do an edit mode where you sort of place blocks around these 3 or these 4 or 5 pedestals, which the enemy are going to try and get to. And basically you're just designing a pathway to try and stop them from getting them, as well as trying to sort of blow them up. And it's a bit, I'd just rather sort of have a battle than try and stop them in my own way, rather than to sort of place sort of conveyor belts to make them wander in one direction or use different kind of blocks to sort of filter them in a different direction. I understand the concept to just try and mix things up, but I'm not too massively keen on that piece. But outside of that, the normal kind of game is just as you kind of play through. And they've done the open-facing one, as I hope they would. Whenever they sort of, if you know Bomberman, when you lay a bomb, the explosions go in like a cross shape. And sometimes there's areas where there's no interlocking blocks, so it's kind of like an open-facing area, so you can run diagonally and like the whole area, you're not stuck in a grid-like running pattern.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was hoping they didn't do like the 3D mode where you place a bomb and it goes around in a circular arc, because that rarely ever works and doesn't. They keep the same cross kind of explosion, and I much prefer that, so I'm glad they left it that way. But so far I'm a little bit quite in the story, but every time you get to a certain part you have to do a fortress defense mode, which is kind of like, oh man, another one. But it's fine, I just don't build it too much and just take them out myself. So it's fine to get past, but I assume to break up the action, but not massively keen on that piece. But it's still Bomberman and still fun for me to play it.
Have you done many like actual online matches against other players, or have you just been sticking to the story stuff?
Just the story bit for now. I'll have to see if I don't know if there is an online sort of battle bit, but if there is, I'll find it and I'll test my metals to see if I can get a win before next week. Yeah,
that's all I played was the online one, and it's like 64 players, I think. And you
that was the proper
rooms
battle.
Where you start in one room, and then every minute or so you can swap rooms to another one.
Yes, that was it. Consolidated it down. I missed that.
I did utter shit, so I turned it off and immediately removed myself from playing Bomberman because I don't. You're already going to destroy me. I don't need fucking randoms destroying me as well. Good to see you. We'll look forward to your review on xboxhammer.com very, very soon.
Yes.
But let's move on.
When's it out?
It's already out. It came out on the 13th, apparently.
Been out for just over nearly 2 weeks, I suppose, at this point, But what's it like, 50 quid to buy? It is steep. I remember Rick, because I saw it when it came out. I was like, fucking 50 quid for Bomberman? Are you having a laugh, Konami? What are you doing?
That's fucking steep,
Yeah, but again, if people enjoy it, who knows? Not for me, but
yeah, it's one of those. It's a popular IP, isn't it? So
it is indeed. See, I remember when they brought out, what was it, Bomberman Xbox Live Arcade version. It was like a $5. I was like, yeah, I'll do. 50,
yeah,
it should be 50 quid. Anyway,
it does seem a lot.
That's by the by. Ross, I feel like we need to get the Gate of Balder in here. Tell me.
I can't give you much on it if I'm honest.
That's fine. That's fine because I know Graham's very interested in this one as well. Are you interested in Baldur's Gate at all?
Yeah. I played all the original ones on the PC. I'm not sure I completed the second one, but I did complete the first one, and then they just kept expanding it, and it's just, massive.
Well, let Ross tell you all about why you need to be playing Baldur's Gate 3.
For all hour of it I've played. No, I played the tutorial. I got to like a battle where I was massively underprepared. Didn't have anywhere near the right setup for it. Got my ass kicked like 8 times by the same group, and then went, fuck it, I'm turning this off. So I have had a rather hectic week this week in regards to decorating, so I've not had a chance to jump back into it. Then FIFA launched, and I've just... So I will hopefully get a wee bit more played as of next week. I am quite enjoying the whole Dungeons and Dragons type idea with the dice rolls and stuff like that. I've never played any game that's like this in my puff before, so I'm going in completely blind in regards to mechanics and however shit works in regards to like the spells, and they've got like little random numbers next to them, like 2d16 or whatever the fuck that means.
2 damage,
Yeah, exactly. So
2 to 16 in those ranges, basically. It doesn't hit in that range.
Learning that shit as I go, but so far, looks good. Like the cutscenes. Funnily enough, the cutscenes in the game doesn't have the protagonist speaking. Yet I haven't seen massive fucking outrage about this game not having a protagonist not speaking like it did with Starfield. But that's just happenstance, I suppose.
Boycott. Where's all those reviews that were paid off? Let's go after them. Wait, you?
Yeah, exactly.
Very high.
Not fucking mentioned, but I've found 2 companions so far. I know there's a shit ton more on top of them, but I've got 2 so far, and we'll hopefully jump back in and put some hours into it this week. The aforementioned unable to install the right version of EA 24, he has put he's 25 hours in it or something, and he's completely in love with the game. So it seems like if he can get into it, we've got similar sort of taste in games. But we'll see how it goes.
Fair
I thought like Ian was celebrating, like, 25 hours. Oh yeah. No,
just
fucking snapping an elastic band.
Pinks myself with a fucking elastic band. You're watching. That's what happened.
Very good. Right, thank you very much, Ross. We'll get some more. Obviously, we can expect it to come to Xbox at some point before the end of the year, they said, but it's not out just yet. So hold fire on our official verdicts of that. I'm going to jump in very quickly with some Immortals of Avium, and this is the reason I haven't been playing Starfield, because this game will not fucking end, but...
Is it not ending in a good way or a bad way, though, where you say that?
I mean... Before I start lavishing it with praise, it probably could have ended about 5 hours ago, really. I'm at 22-ish hours now, and I've just hit the final chapter, which hopefully I'll finish off later on. But it's about 22 hours, and I've only done a few like side missions because there's little what are they called? Is it Fanes? I forget. Shroud Fanes. Is Shroud Fanes something like that? Where you go in and it's like super hard challenges where you get power weapons or abilities and stuff like that. I've done a few of them, but mainly I've just been sticking to the main story and going through it. But the combat of it it's fucking unreal. It's like I can't even describe how much I enjoy it without just going like, it's amazing, I love it.
Have you got like a video you can show?
I mean, I haven't, because if I tried to show you on here, it'd probably crash my entire house, let alone just my fucking computer. But it's, I mean, it looks stunning. It's on Unreal 5, but because you've got the different magic abilities, you've got red, blue, and green magic sort of weapons, as well as your special abilities, as well as the enemies, as well as just the lavish areas you're fighting in. It looks incredible. It feels incredible to play. And I was fighting in one of these Fanes the other night. And it was like a massive dragon thing that was fighting me, as well as little shitty enemies on the side just to try and distract me. And it took me, I don't know, 20 minutes to beat him, like in one sitting. I died a few times, but in one, like from start to finish, it took about 20 minutes. But it was just like non-stop action, left, right, and center, and I was having a great time. I like the audio effects and the way they implement, like I said, like the feel of the weapons hitting and the damage they do, and the sort of like pizzazz and shiny, wonderful, lovely. I think it's fucking awesome. I can't believe more people haven't sort of picked it up, because obviously, as we said last week, the development studio has like halved their staff because it hasn't done very well, and I cannot for the life of me figure out why. Because anyone who plays it, I think, will just fall in love with it, because it's just fucking just like a brilliant old school style shooter. Where you
launched it at such a stupid time. That's the reason I've not played it.
I think that's this drawback.
The time was a bad choice. Yeah, I mean, Baldur's Gate come out, obviously Starfield come out, and it was kind of got a bit Titanfall 2, where they released it just in the midst of everything else around. It was like, you can have a game. By the way, don't worry about it too much. But yeah, it's honestly, it probably is one of my favorite games I've played this year. It's just brilliant, and every time I sort of playing it, I complete a new chapter. I get to you can sort of go back on yourself and explore the areas you've already been to find these other fanes and other areas once you've got more powers and stuff. And I haven't done too much of that, but through the progress of the story, you have to go back to various places as it goes, and just finding little hidden chambers where extra challenges or extra items. I found these. Part of the one we got was like a deluxe edition, which gave you like really powerful weapons at a certain point in the game. But I found some that are even better than that now, just on a little side challenge I managed to best. And yeah, it's just awesome. I mean, like I said, it's probably gone on a little bit too long. It could have been a little bit shorter, and the cutscenes fucking go on forever. And they're entertaining enough, but they take themselves too seriously, but not seriously at the same time. Like, they're always cracking jokes, but then they talking about the fate of the world. And they're just like, okay, I've got the idea now. We need to go and kill this guy. Yes, but before we go there, we must the shrouded forge of time and eternity itself. I said, no, I don't care. Just let me go and start shooting more things in the face. I'm having a great time. So I'm going to finish it hopefully later on this evening or tomorrow.
Can't win, Jay. One talks too much and the other one doesn't.
I know they just won't shut up.
I know. Like, what do you want?
But it is entertaining, and yeah, the actual combat feel is it's brilliant. Definitely one of the best games I've played this year. And again, I read some reviews. I forget who, but they were like, "Oh, they spend too much time on this and that, and they don't do enough, excite." It's like, how is this not exciting enough? It's just like constant, incredible action.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I highly recommend it, especially if you're into sort of old school feeling first person shooters, but with a fucking shiny coat of paint. Yeah, really, really good. I think it might.
Is it quite fast paced?
Yeah, it can be.
Especially once you get some upgrades and stuff, because there's about 6 or 7 powers you can get. There's the dash move. There's 3 different types of weapon which you can equip with different weapons. There's a lot to sort of pick up and sort of get the hang of, but yeah, it's just non-stop, like bang, 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 bang. And my missus come down the other day because I've played and like a big fight. There's loads of enemies and stuff, and all she could hear me say, "Come on, you cunt! Come on, I'm fucking at you! Yes, come on!" And I was proper getting into it. And she's like, "What are you playing?" I'm just playing it because of Mortals of Avium. It's really good. I was proper like getting into it.
Wow,
I haven't got
FIFA rage mode.
I know. No, it wasn't rage mode. It was like the sheer excitement of the combat and stuff. I was just proper getting into it. I was like, "Yes, come on!" Really good. I think it's excellent, and more people should be playing it because, it deserves way more love than it's got so far. So, yeah, I'm quite excited to get back to playing that when we finished here this evening. Has anybody else?
When did it come out?
Just about a month ago. It was the end of August.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's quite a while since it's been out then.
Yeah, and
okay.
Yeah,
£70 though.
Yeah, that's what I got before Starfield came out.
I mean, like I said, obviously I'm playing it via Graham's game sharing, but it's worth every penny as far as I'm concerned. It's fucking absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And it's an EA game as well, the EA original, so it probably will end up in Game Pass at some point in the next 6 months or something.
Woohoo!
And if that happens, it needs more love because, like I said, fucking absolutely loving it front and center. And that's been dragging me from Starfield because I'm sort of, it's like the immediate action where I could spend 10 minutes fucking going through menus finding the planet I want.
This is the thing though, right? This game, as you're saying, price wise is probably too expensive. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. It's maybe not too expensive for what you get. It's maybe too expensive for people willing to take a punt on it to buy it.
Yes.
This is the sort of game where your games with like Game Pass or anything on the ideas, whether it be PlayStation Plus or whatever, sort of, see when it goes into there and it gets all these accolades of people going, oh my God, I picked up this game because it's in X, Y, and Z and it's absolutely fantastic. This is when developers need to look at it and go, is this the type of game where we can justify charging £70, dollars, whatever it be, and only getting a handful of players to pick it up because of the price point, or are we willing to take a smaller cut of the original like amount of money that they're going to be getting paid because more players will pick it up?
Yeah, this would have been a prime big get for Game Pass. Like you said, like day one, play it with Game Pass, and everyone, it's amazing. But
yeah.
Like I said, this is
because then you got like this for £70, and then I can get bloody Assassin's Creed Mirage, which comes out next
and cheaper
weeks for £40. Like,
yeah.
Mind boggles.
It's the. I mean, obviously, back in the day, we would spend that and take a punt on stuff, but now times have changed. You got. I don't know if there's a trial actually because of EA Play or not. I'm not entirely sure, but if there is, definitely check it out. If not, I mean, if you want to wait for it to come into EA Play, definitely play it when it comes in there because it's fucking excellent. I'm having a great time with it, and I really hope.
Yeah, like you say, if it's EA, definitely come to EA.
And I really hope they don't, even though they've halved the studio. I hope they don't, move on or close them down or anything, and they get another shot at it because I think learning what they've learned and putting it into a sequel, I think they could fucking have. We could have the next sort of Gears of War style, first person shooter. Sort of franchise come out of this, but
I'm out now.
No, I don't mean. I mean, like the first Gears was awesome, but Gears 2 is
you
ruined
the game.
It really fucking ramped it up,
You go fuck yourself.
Because what we need is some girl with a headache who can just bitch and moan at Ian all the time.
Always fucking moan. Oh, my head hurts.
All right, let's
close your eyes, bitch.
Let's move on from that then, shall we? I realised we've fucking an hour already. We haven't even started the news yet. Very, very quick. I won't go into too much. Party Animals, awesome, really good game.
Is it?
Yeah, it's fun. It's silly. I'm playing it with the kids. It's like Game Beasts, but with furry animals, and it's funny just watching people flailing around, trying to smack the shit out of each other.
Is it online?
It is online. Well, you can play local as well, but I think mainly it's online play. And I've been enjoying it. But we'll talk more about that next week because we've gone way too long. Ross, unless anybody else has got anything they want to bring up, let's plug me, please.
Yeah, you're getting a quick plug because you decided to sneak another fucking game in there. Patreon.com/Xbox Tavern. As you'll see up in this corner, up above Gray's head, there has been a wee QR code through the whole show. If you scan that, it'll jump over to our Patreon page. If you want to support us with your hard-earned cash, it is greatly appreciated. Apple and Spotify podcasts, you can jump over and give us a wee rating and blurb about what you like or dislike about a podcast. Written reviews can be found at xboxtavern.com. Jay will have a list of the ones that have went up recently later on in the show. Socials have been running along the bottom of the screen since the start of the show, so please like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You'll find us in some way, shape or form at Xbox Tavern or at Xbox Tavern Official. Discord, as you've seen at the start of the show, we've got the Guess a Game feature that we do over in the Discord channel. So Monday through Saturday, we've usually got a wee ongoing sort of event through there. And then Sunday, obviously, at the start of the show, we jump in and drop it there. And last but by no means least, Insert Coin. If you use promo code XBTIC23, you'll get 10% off your orders. You can also jump over to the website using the promo code at the right-hand side of the screen, and that will take you over to the shop. We're all big fans of the Insert Coin stuff. I've got my Rainbow Six zippy on tonight. I was going to say Jay's going to have some sort of beanie on that will have some sort of affiliation to Insert Coin because, him and beanies, he's just obsessed. Indeed. And that is your quick plug for the week.
Thank you very much for the quick plug, alls. I appreciate that very much. Right, gentlemen, let's get into some news quickly. I mean, again, I don't know how long we want to spend on this because we've been going for fucking ages already, but there was a lot of news. There was a massive. Let me just reiterate that fucking massive leak from the whole Activision Blizzard Xbox merger nonsense that's been going on, and it included.
It's finished.
I mean, that part is finished now. Well, all but finished. They've preliminarily approved it, which I think was it the middle of October. I think is the final hearing.
13th October.
Yeah. So yeah, but as it stands right now, there's no reason why they shouldn't approve it, and then we can fucking forget about it. But they did give us this, which I mean, there's videos left. Digital Foundry did a really good video about the hardware, and I think it was Destin Legary did a really good video about the sort of software and stuff side of things. But the gist of it was we got the roadmap for Xbox up to 2030, including Series X and S refreshes next year, a new controller, next gen console, a whole load of games that haven't been announced that should have been out by now, and some more that should be out in the next year or so. And yeah, just a shit ton of stuff. So I don't know where everybody wants to start because I don't want to spend too long because we've been going for ages already. But does anybody have anywhere they want to particularly start, or should we just go through it one by one?
Fallout 3 remaster. I'll just put it out there.
All right, let's start with the software then. So obviously there was a list of things I think from all of this was from 2020 as I understand it, and it was 2020, 2021, 22, 23, and 24. Part of it was the Oblivion remaster. There was the Fallout remaster. There was stuff about Doom. Was it Doom Year Zero? Was it called? I'm just trying to find my list here of where's my list of games. Right. Anyway, there was other stuff. There was Indiana Jones. There was and Dishonored 3, Ian. It's supposed to be out within. I think it was again. I'll find the list of games in a second, but it was supposed to be out within this year / next year. Yeah, there was fucking tons of stuff. Ross, would you play a Fallout 3 remaster? I feel like that's a stupid question, but tell me, would you do it?
I was going to say, as the Pope a Catholic.
Yeah, just like games where the people talk to each other.
Yeah,
not to each other, to me.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe they don't want to speak to you. They're quite happy conversing with everybody else and just ignore you.
It could very well just be me. Yeah. No one wants to talk to me.
Do I think stealth is for fannies? Got your answer.
Like fire escapes.
But yes, I would quite happily jump back into the Capital Wasteland.
Yes. So
experience the pit again.
I think part of what Destin and Ryan McCaffrey on the podcast Unlocked were talking about was they say remaster rather than remake. So would you reckon it would be just an upspuffed version, slightly shinier?
I'm happy with that.
Would you be happy with that? You wouldn't want them to full on remake it?
I don't need a full remake.
No, just
it's very difficult to remake perfection.
Yeah, but that would be Oblivion, though, wouldn't it? So which they're also doing.
Oblivion was shit.
That's outrageous. I'm still trying to find this fucking list. Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. There was loads of games on there. And again, Dishonored 3 was a highlight for me because not only have they not announced it, but they kind of insinuated they were moving away from Dishonored with stuff like Redfall and Prey and that. So for them to go back to Dishonored, that would make me a very, very happy man indeed. Ian, you're muted. Tell me all about Dishonored 3. What do you want to see?
So I'm glad they've gone back to it because Redfall was shit. So.
I mean, Redfall was shit, but Deathloop was awesome.
Deathloop was good. Yeah, I can't fault them there. Maybe they can put them together. Dishonored and Deathloop.
Exactly. I mean, I'd quite like to see some of the powers from Deathloop maybe transfer over to Dishonored 3, but I think I'd prefer them just to go with Corvo. I don't necessarily want like the dual character setup of Dishonored 2. Just stick with Corvo, give him a load of power.
Yeah, because it pretty much was the same game, just two different powers.
Yeah, and then when you finished it, you could play through with both sets anyway.
Stealth. Yeah, but then if you were just doing stealth anyway, you only needed Corvo's blink ability or her blink, whatever her blink.
I must admit, I don't think I ever played with her. I played as Corvo, and then that was it. A bit of blink, a bit of I can't remember what it's called now. One slows down time, and the possession one, and that's all you need. Don't need anything else.
It's called playing the game. That slows down time, playing a stealth game.
You've any weapons you find, you just discard them immediately.
Video games in general.
Discard any weapons you would find immediately and just hunt around and see what you can find. But yeah, so yeah, there was loads.
Choke them out.
Yeah, choke them out, chuck them in a box or chuck them off a cliff because you didn't kill them then, technically, kind of, sort of, in a way.
Put them in the bin.
Put them in a bin. Put them in a bin. Although I think I've told this before, I was trying to do it without Dishonored 2 without killing anyone, and I was doing the Clockwork Mansion, and I knocked a guard out, put him in the lift. Went about an hour ahead. Think obviously the Clockwork Mansion moves around and stuff. The lift ended up being destroyed, and the fucking guy died. And when I got to the end of the level, it was like, you killed one person. I was like, who the fuck did I kill? So I went back to my save, and I was like, oh, it's him. It's the fucking guard I left hidden away.
So the game screwed you.
The game screwed, so I had to do the whole fucking level again because I was like, I'm not having this. I didn't kill him. Awesome game. But yeah, very excited to see more Dishonored. I said we got also Series X and S refreshes, which they've codenamed Brooklyn. The Series X and Series S was
unimportant.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, but the gist of it is, rather than being sort of mid-gen upgrades like the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro and stuff like that, they're just basically sort of redesigned and slightly improved, but not enough to make them different. So the Series X refresh Brooklyn is a lot of people are taking a piss at this. The tagline they've got for it is the most powerful Xbox ever, now adorably all digital. Because instead of the sort of rectangle shape we've got now, it's like a cylindrical one. So it's got no disk drive. Got a 2 terabyte hard drive, USB-C port on the front. It comes with the new controller, which we'll get to in a second, and then updated various bits and pieces, like new low power standby mode, which is more efficient. Excuse me, new Wi-Fi, new stuff like that. But the gist of it is taking away the disk drive, but giving you a 2 terabyte hard drive instead. And a lot of people have been putting out think pieces like, "Oh my god, the end of physical media." I was like, "Good, get rid of it.
Good, yeah, fucking get rid of it."
They tried to do it in 2013, and it was like, "Oh no!"
I mean, I like physical media as much as the next person in terms of all my retro stuff. I've got so many games upstairs, like on discs and cartridges and stuff like that. But aside from the things I've been sent for the website and stuff, and the like 6 or 7 PlayStation or Switch games I buy a year, everything else is all digital for me these days. And
I couldn't tell you the last physical game I bought for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, or PC.
Yeah, all my Switch games are physical media. Everything else is
the only reason I buy PS4.
Even my Switch is off as digital.
With Ian and Pete and anyone else wants to try them, a bit easier. Like the Pikmin one, again, not to go back to Pikmin, I won't talk about it, but the reason I bought that was because I wanted the physical cartridge. So I've got Pikmin 1, 2, and 3, and 4 sort of all on the shelf together. But I mean, if that wasn't an option, I wouldn't have been like, well, I'm not buying it because I can't buy the cartridge. I would have just bought it digitally. It's only because it was there, because again, I only buy a handful of games a year, and it's easy to share with people, like lend it to Pete, lend it to me, and great stuff like that. But if the physical was to go away, all right.
Yeah, I mean, like there's the whole argument about like your resale value and stuff like that, but it's just never something that's bothered me.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, same here. I never sell any of my games. I keep that, hence the room of fucking cartridges and discs I've got upstairs.
Yeah, I've no interest in like having like discs or cartridges fucking littering around my house. Like, especially like Switch cartridges. I mean, those are a bastard. You're losing them without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Oh no, I fully expect next time I go on holiday, I'm going to lose Pikmin 1 and 2. I'm like,
and that's what I mean. So like, I'll just.
Why did I take it with
I'll take my digital version that I've got that's like built into my account, that no matter what fucking console I've got, I log in, it's there, I download it, and I play it. Done, dusted.
I think a lot of people were saying that preservation and stuff, which is fair enough, because obviously, should one day Xbox be like, actually, we don't want to do this anymore, the access to the servers and stuff is probably going to disappear. But I think.
But then you're not going to have a console if they decide they're just shutting shit down.
I think at this point, that is. The sort of reality is so far off, and people are so invested that like Steam, I think, have said if they ever shut down, they'll just make everything available for everyone to download, like the stuff they purchased, so that you've got it like on your hard drive or what have you. And I imagine Xbox and PlayStations and Nintendo will have to do the same, because they couldn't be like, you've got 3,000 games, fuck you, and just shut everything off. Because I think there might be a few riots at that point.
Isn't that just Ubisoft?
Well, yeah, supposedly, although I think they backtracked a little bit on that. But I mean, the actual look of the console itself, it looks like an Xbox Series X who someone just rounded off the corners. I mean, it's not a pretty thing, but it's not an offensive thing. It would sit quite nicely up on my shelf. Should it come out looking like it does right now? And they like I said, they're doing a Series S one, which the general gist of it was give it a bigger hard drive, which I think is basically the one that came out the other week.
Yeah,
the carbon black one.
Yeah.
More interesting though is the controller. Again, codename Sibyl. And apart from the hideous design, which I really am not a fan of, it's got some pretty nifty features. So I'm
really hoping that it's just like a mock-up and it's not going to actually look like that.
I think if they probably would release it looking like this, but hopefully they'll do design lab and stuff, which again we'll get to in a minute. But it's got Xbox Wireless 2, which is the thing they use to connect to the console, which is already rapid fast. Direct to cloud, which is something Stadia did, which is pretty interesting, because if you're going to play cloud games, rather than connecting to your Xbox and then going from your Xbox to the cloud, you can just connect directly to the cloud server to play. Bluetooth as standard, obviously, at this point. But more interesting is the immersion side. And Ian, I know you'll love this part. Get ready. It's got precision haptic feedback.
Nope.
Stupid ass fucking gimmick.
PCA haptics, which double as speakers, accelerometer, and quite a button and thumbstick. So the real thing I want to focus in there is the haptics, the accelerometer, and the haptic feedback, and the one that doubled the speakers.
Just because you like the control to vibrate.
I like vibration, and part of the appeal of the PS5 is its current DualSense with the I can't remember what they called them. But
you like the triggers, the arsehole as well.
Triggers that sort of resist, and they got the
triggering
sort of,
me in a moment.
You know, again, I forget the name of the specific kind of vibration they got in it, but it's sort of, you can feel it like move around the controller, and it's fucking brilliant, especially if the games use it properly. Like
it's not because I turn that off as soon as I pick up the controller.
Deathloop made awesome use, especially of the triggers where the different guns felt different, and then the vibration sort of. It was awesome, and that's why I played it on the PlayStation 5, was because of the controller. So doing something like this, including obviously the rumble triggers and stuff the Xbox we got, it's very interesting to me, as well as the accelerometer, which I always enjoy, because something like Zelda, for example, aiming the bow and arrow and just giving it the little nuanced, just a little touch with the accelerometer and the gyro and stuff. Fucking, that's exactly what Xbox is the only one that doesn't have that at the moment, and they're definitely missing that. Graham, I feel like you've been quiet here.
Yeah.
Have you seen this controller? Does any of this do anything for you? Do you like a bit of rumble in your gaming?
Not too fast. They killed me after I bought one of those Elite Core 2 controllers, and it crapped the bed on me. So new controllers, which with haptic feedbacks, and I'll probably like it once I get used to it.
Oh,
no, it's because I got the rubbish D-pad, the Creator D-pad one, which I hate.
The not coffee-proof one.
It had nothing to do with it. I've even taken it apart. The alignment had nothing to do with it. It's just aligned really rubbish. And
yeah, I literally the Elite shut my bed, and I was like, "Oh, if I don't really want to risk Elite 2." And then I nearly bought it, and then yours shut the bed. I was like, "Nope, not buying."
Yeah, I've never had a problem with any of the two my Elites.
They might Elite 2
if they're going to start
fucking brilliant,
charging £500 for a bloody a vibrating controller, then yeah, I'm happy to wait with that one.
I'll tell you, one of the best controllers I've had, it's not even the official Xbox one, it's the one I got from when I did the review. It's these ones here, because they're really good, because again, it lights up, it's got the buttons. I don't need to click the two things in, because it's got two buttons here.
Was that Power
so rather than having to click,
yeah.
I'm clicking these in, I just click these in instead. Yeah, and that works for me perfect, because got my buttons I need, and I hate clicking the thumbsticks in. So always have to sign the
totally with you. Something like the Elite controllers can't even do yet. They can't map a button like that, and they can't map two buttons at the same time as well. They're getting left behind.
So for me, this is perfect.
the sticks though. You can back any button to the back buttons. On
you can't map multiple buttons.
You can't do like LBRB to one button.
No. Yeah, I know you can't do that, but you can map.
That's what I'm saying. So how can a big company like Xbox with a massive amount of customization not do it, but Power A can?
Yeah, makes no sense. But the Power A ones, all I need is to click the thumbsticks in and out, and I'll use these instead. And it works so much better and quicker for me. Because so many fucking games use the clicking. I don't understand why.
Yeah, I've always got, no matter what controller I've got, the left one is the left clicking, but the right one's always A for jumping and stuff. But then on the Elite you've got 4, so I've got a bit more flexibility with that. But
yeah, but I
only use 2 on the Elite.
I use 2.
Outrageous.
Yeah, so this is perfect for me. I just need 2. I couldn't fucking remember which top
4's a bit of a calamity.
The 2 long ones on the back of the Elite, that's all I use.
All 4 for me, baby. On that and the Scuff one as well. Just fucking set them up.
How many conversation options do you need to map?
We got the sprint on the left stick. We've got A for jump or whatever, X, and then the other one is generally B. So we got basically the face button. So
why do you need A and X map? The whole point of mapping A is so your thumb doesn't have to move.
Yeah,
you just leave X. You just leave it covering X.
Oh, because it's on the stick. On the right stick.
What are you playing? That your fingers are both on the stick at all times.
Why do the right stick and A at the same time? You never need the right stick and A at the same time.
Immortals of Avium, running around, jumping, you 8 looking, and then reloading.
You jump around with this, and then you. Well, you want like a 360 no scope.
Just because I'm an advanced gamer and you chumps are fucking average.
Look, listen, mate. Anybody has to invert their Y is not an advanced gamer. They're fucking challenged.
I mean, that's one thing we need
challenged.
Invert Y. Maybe with the skill controller that'll come as standard. Everybody just has to invert Y.
Everybody will return
that. Like a proper gamer. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the design is hideous. Whether it comes out like that, who knows? But
I don't think it's. I think it's the mock-up.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the features they've got here, as well as it's also got a built-in rechargeable and swappable battery, which is something that even the Elites don't do. So it's got it built in, but you can't take it out. Whereas the standard controllers don't have anything built in, and you have to buy it separately. Whereas this has got a built-in rechargeable and swappable battery.
Good, that's how it should be.
Yes, you should be able to take it out if you're going to force a battery in there and swap it for one when it shits the bed.
Because this, if I just
or what have you,
pop out, because that is the best thing that like you can put in any sort of gaming peripheral. Literally 2 seconds.
Is it
a headset?
It's a Steel Series hot swappable headset. So I pop off this ear cover, pop that battery in. The DAC for the audio has a charger port on the side. Pop that in the side of it. Charges my gaming while I'm using this headset.
Exactly what we need. We've got I've got a Venom charger for my Xbox Series X, like regular controllers, which come. But the problem with that is it comes with its own battery cover. Which if you've got a black controller or something, you've got no choice but to put a white cover on the back, which isn't the end of the world. But
it's not ideal though.
Just sort of ruins the aesthetic of it. You know, you purchased a coloured controller, now you've got a white back. So yeah, having a swappable battery would be awesome.
Yeah, that's why I've got these swappable batteries here. So literally just swap them in and out. But you can use your own normal covers as well, and they work perfect.
That's what we need.
It takes a couple hours, and they go on for 20 plus hours, I think, for each time. So good long, and then I take a couple hours to charge. So I usually charge overnight. But if that, it's only overnight.
Nice.
But yeah.
So I mean, we'll see. This controller was supposed to be revealed and possibly released this year before obviously all the shit went down. So we'll see whether they actually bring it out this year or not. But that's way before the consoles are supposed to be refreshed next year. And then we got the next gen console, which, if I can just find my notes very quickly, is supposed to be coming out in 2028. And they're talking about things like cloud compute and stuff that they were sort of hinting at with the Xbox One original reveal in 2013, when they was using the power of the cloud for like Crackdown with the destruction physics and stuff like that, which again has set some people off a bit. Oh, you can't possibly do this. It's not going to work. I mean, we got 7 years at this point until that might possibly come out. So don't worry about it. Like, at that point, we'll figure it out. But obviously there's no images or real sort of tech specs. They're just more focusing on the idea of having cloud gaming more integrated rather than just being an option of playing a game. It will work with the games you're playing offline.
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer to do with the new gen, but that sounds fantastic. Well done. Round of applause. Can we make sure that it launches with like 5 first-party games? How about we focus on that instead?
They'll need Crackdown 4 to show it off, definitely.
Yeah, I don't care about all your fancy little gimmicks that you can add into it. I want it to be powerful enough to run the games and have a shit ton of games to play. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Does PlayStation have all these fancy fucking blah 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 gimmicks? No, but they have good set of games and it sells. That's all I care about. I don't care about gimmicks until the games library is big enough that we don't have to worry about it. Once we've got that, start throwing gimmicks at me left, right, and centre.
And this thing with obviously the acquisitions they've made, discounted Activision at the minute, but Bethesda, blah blah blah, etc., etc. By then, we should really be seeing like a massive game every 3 or 4 months. Should be seeing a big game every few months on a consistent basis. So by the time they get round to the first studio again, they've already got their next game ready to come out.
Well, make sure they do
Pass. And
if it's this time frame, Elder Scrolls could be
a launch console.
That actually going back to the software, they had that listed as a release for this year.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry, next year. Sorry.
Cool. In fairness, if this roadmap,
no fucking chance.
The thing is, if this roadmap is from 2020?
2020.
Can we maybe put COVID down as a reason?
That's definitely a factor.
Yeah, I'm not saying it would have still made it for next year, but you could at least turn around and say COVID affected it coming out for the next year, for example.
I mean, and Starfield was delayed a year, which obviously then would have, if it come out when they were supposed to, would have given it 2 years between the games, which might have been a bit more reasonable.
Yeah.
But having it come out now and expecting it to come out in the next 12 months was probably hoping a little bit big. But then the last part, which again, don't want to go too long because we're fucking stretching the time, and I've got some aviums to Immortal, damn it. They've also been talking about, or rumored, sorry, as part of this leak, expanding the Design Lab feature to include consoles. Now, this was more tenuous, I should say, because there was nothing specific in the thing. It was more, they had a list of consoles and stuff, and part of it said XDL, which people figured out stood for Xbox Design Lab. But would anybody be interested in having a fucking multicolored console?
Nope. Focus on making games. If I want to make my console look different to what I already am, you've already introduced skins that I can wrap around my Xbox and hot change them wherever I fancy. Next.
Yeah, pretty much. Ian, Graham, any interest in making a bright orange console for you? No. I mean, I would get an orange one, but
it's just too much fast.
Yeah, I'm with Ross. Skins does the same thing, and if you really want to go down that route.
Yeah, I would like it if it was day one, like for the next gen console. They said, we've
there's
got
4 different colours.
Day one, you can go into Design Lab and make it your own for the same price as a new console. But you can make it all kinds of shitty colours, which I like to do. I'd probably go for it, but I've already got an Xbox. I don't really need a different coloured one at this point. I mean, I've got how many I've got in this house? 4 Xboxes in this house. Don't need another one in a different color at this point. So,
but are you sure?
Not really. No, I mean, it depends. How much orange can I put on it? Can I? Yeah, you could tempt me, Xbox.
Maybe at the start, but not right now. But wasn't there a shortage of these anyway, and they start doing gimmicky ones?
Exactly.
I mean, there's no added features to it. There's no point. Like if it actually did something more,
it's haptic, Ian. It's got a haptic concept.
Haptic console feedback. See, I'm saying this, but I am also the person who went and bought a Gears of War Xbox when it came out, just because I like Gears of War. When I had a perfectly functioning Xbox 360 at the time.
Yeah, but I did that as well.
Yeah, it's fair. I'll point you on that stupidly as well. But we won't talk about it.
Like I said, when if they do it for the new console, absolutely, I'll fucking make it every color under the rainbow, as far as I'm concerned, to make it just a little bit more interesting. But yeah, right now.
So what colors did they say they were?
There was no information. It was just a reference in the text of it, which people again figured out was Xbox Design Lab. But you've seen my controller. You know exactly the kind of cacophony of colors I'll chuck in there. So yeah, that would be good again to start with. Not fucking 4 years after
your console would be hideous.
It would be hideous. But it would be mine. God damn it. So yeah, again, there's so much information out there. Like I said, Destin Legary's video was really good. Digital Foundry's video was really good. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty much a fucking I just read the term disaster situation. I don't want to go that far, maybe, but they've basically had their next 7 years of information and plans and stuff leaked out, which Phil Spencer's come out and said things have changed. Yeah, they'll probably change this afternoon because
exactly. They are shit.
Yeah, like fuck, throw it all in the bin, start again. It's anything here spike anyone's interest, or do you think they should be changing anything, or would you like to see anything different and anything at all in regards to what we've now learned about Xbox for the next fucking 7 years?
Focus on making focus on making AAA first party games. The rest of it can get in the bin.
Get in the bin.
Yeah, just give me some games. Give me Fallout 3 remastered.
That's all they need to worry about.
I'll be happy.
They don't need to innovate. They've been innovators. They've tried to be the innovators with their various different things. And that's all well and good, and it's got them praise in various different places. Now focus on games. Take a back seat in the innovation. Let fucking the new Nintendo Switch be innovative.
Speaking of Nintendo, there was many emails leaked about this as part of it as well. Some of which Phil Spencer saying, everything's gone shit. But one of which was that they were saying that if Nintendo were to sell, the only option really would be Microsoft, because they're in the best position to do it with their relationship with cross-play and sharing games and stuff like that, as well as being the only company really that could afford that. And they were sort of not necessarily hinting that they were going to try and do it, but being like, well, if they were, maybe we should just put our name, just slide our name,
put the feelers out to see how it goes. Yeah,
because I think the quote was, Nintendo know their future is off their own hardware, which I don't know if Nintendo might know that or not. I feel like they might have a different opinion on things there. But it was an interesting sort of insight where he's still, 20 years later after they tried to buy Nintendo, they're still sort of, maybe we could get Mario and Zelda on Xbox, or perhaps even bin off Xbox completely and just put Microsoft behind whatever the next Switch or what have you is. I mean, again, I've said it before. I'll take one console as far as I'm concerned. Put everything on everything. I don't care. It'd be a damn sight cheaper for me just to have one console rather than three that would only play on one most of the time. But yeah, that was an interesting. There was other emails and stuff which I haven't got up here. I don't want to get into because it's not very interesting. But it was quite the insight for people who might care, such as Sony, for example, who'll be reading them emails, being like, so. That's what you really think. Well, and tell you what, fuck you. I'm going to come out with something even better. It was a massive week. Anyone else got any thoughts and opinions on any of this megaton of news before we wrap things up?
All good.
All good indeed. Nice. Well, we'll probably still be talking about this next week because it's, like I said, it's massive. And until we get sort of confirmation of the leaks, or indeed revelations of how they've changed the plans, as Phil Spencer said, a lot of people are going to be looking at E3 and video game awards and all that sort of stuff, being like, are you going to announce the Brooklyn now? You're going to announce the Seville now? Like, no, not yet. We're not ready for this. But yeah, go check out some of them other videos. Like I said, Digital Foundry did a really good one about the hardware. And things like that. So yeah, that was a fucking lengthy girthy thing. I feel like we've had a good Sunday evening, 8 p.m. over on Xbox Tavern. YouTube.com/Xbox Tavern official, which we record it this Sunday, each and every Sunday evening, 8 p.m. And let's thank you. let's get into the round of the show then, gentlemen. So we've got things coming to Game Pass. Ross, would you like to do the honours and tell us things that we can play on Game Pass right now or very soon?
Not many left. I got to the end of the line in regards to this month, waiting for some more to come out.
Indeed.
So just happened sort of the last couple of days. Payday 3 came out on the 21st. The 22nd, you had your 10-hour free trial of EAFC. 20th September, you've got Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney come to the console. And rounding out the month on the 29th, you've got Cocoon, which also come to the console.
Nice. And that's another very interesting one. That's from some of the makers of Inside and Limbo. And yeah, very interesting to check that one out. Ian, things are leaving us, as always. Do you want to tell us all about them?
Yes, unfortunately, Microsoft announced that 8 games are leaving Game Pass this month on the 30th of September. And they are Beacon Pines, Despot Games, Moon Scare, Outriders, Produce, Weird West, Shenzhen, and Last Call.
Nice. So yeah, go check them ones out. Where you've got just about a week or so from recording to go check them bad boys out. Weird West has been one I've been wanting to play for ages, but I've got too much fucking Immortals of Avium to be playing this week.
Any of those games, so I'm not really in a rush to go and start any of them.
It was you that liked Desperados, wasn't it? Though Desperados 3.
Yes,
I think it's sort of similar to that.
Oh, okay.
But again, I've had it installed for fucking the whole time it's been on Game Pass. So I've never even loaded it up. So we'll see about that one. Maybe we'll check it out before it leaves. Graham, obviously your part is gone. Do you have anything you want to just say for now until I figure out what to do with you?
Thanks. I'll just say ish.
Ish. Nice. Thank you very much. All right, well, that's us for yet another Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern, which is called each and every Sunday at 8 p.m.
Ish.
We got to squeeze in as many issues as we can. Do you know what? We've discussed this offline, but I can't help it. Every time someone says a time to me in real life now, like at work or something, I'm just like fighting the urge to be like,
why not just include it in your Teams meetings like Ian?
I do, yeah. 5 minutes.
The problem is my Teams meetings are like face to face, so I'll be just sitting in a table like, ish. The fuck did you do?
Before you head off, you're not going to give a little minor shout out to the people that have been commenting in.
I mean, we can do. Have you got them there? Do you want to do the honors?
Oh,
that can be your job.
Oh, I was about to say, Ian's been communicating with one of them, Mr. Happy Cloud Gamer, who always sort of makes an appearance.
Sorry, Happy Cloud. Sorry, I didn't even know.
He's a regular, this week, and we've now got a guy who's called him. Or I assume it's a guy, but it's called Xbox Expansion Pass. So,
hello, Xbox Expansion Pass.
He said hi.
Hello, Xbox.
Yes, thank you very much for watching and joining the chat. Again, I must admit, I didn't even have the thingy open this week. I'm terribly sorry. I'll do better. I promise. I promise. See, people are talking to me and I'm talking back. I'm not playing the game. Not playing the game right.
Hey, hello to anyone. What are you doing?
This is why people don't talk to you in games.
I know, exactly, because I don't even respond. They talk to me and I'll just like ignore them for an hour and a half and then
just ignorant.
They've gone. What a cunt, eh? What a hashtag be nice, you cunts. Anyway, thank you very much. We'll see you again next week at 8 p.m. ish for Xbox Tavern episode 134. But for now, I'm Jamie. You can find me at InXan on various places, Xbox Live especially. You can find Graham
at Grim Reaper,
Ian
at Nutty Way,
and Scottish Gruff
at Scottish Gruff.
Nice. Thank you, everybody. Remember, be nice to each other and.